Hi, and welcome to a new episode on the Luderia world. And today we're working on a game that I spent a lot of time in already, but I still need to build anything. So I say we get started and do some stuff. So you might have seen in the opening segment in the intro that I have pasted in. I used the schematic cannon to get the second part of the city center in place. It looks pretty good. And then we have a little garden over here. We're still waiting on some of the glow vines to grow in our willow. Overall, we have a good vibe going. And I think it's time to expand outwards into the lower part of the city. And I am going to show you, or at least talk to you about what we are going to do next. And it's going to happen somewhere over here. Okay, I have everything I need for the playing field, but we do have a problem, and that's that past me just kind of put dirt over nothing, and now there's a lot of bad things down there. So I'm gonna make a safety box so I can do my redstoning and all the other technical stuff in safety, and I don't have to avoid arrows and zombies and stuff. There we go. We have a bit of a basement, or at least a safety hole, that we can now use to fill up with redstone. It probably wouldn't be filled up all the way, because it is quite a lot of space. But at least I'll have plenty of space to get around and comfortably work and troubleshoot some redstone. I do feel like, first things first, we need an actual field. Before we start doing automation and redstoning and all the fun bits, we need a field, which does kind of force me to talk about how this game is going to be played. So I'm going to get the field in, and while I do that, while I montage it, I will talk to you about what the game is, how it's played, or how I want it to be played. I haven't test played anything, so that's the next step. It's test playing with some friends, but I'll get the field in, and I'll talk to you about some of the fun aspects of the game. This field is going to be how we play the game. It's made up of 3 segments. We have our backline, which is going to be effect cards, much like you have trap cards and stuff like that in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then the front lines, or the front part of the game, is where we have our actual creatures, or followers in our case. And then we've got 2 taller pillars for some other special cards. But most of this is going to be explained when I actually know the exact rules of play, and to get those exact rules I need to be able to test play it with some friends. So keep in mind, all what I say in this video might eventually change in the future. So I'd say let's get into some redstone. We are going to work on the shuffling of cards. A deck is going to be, I want to say, somewhere around 30 to 40 cards, and I want those to be dispensed randomly throughout the game in a way that people cannot stack their deck, or they cannot reorganize their deck. So the thing is, shuffling cards, or shuffling 40, 50, 60, whatever amount of items I eventually choose, is not the easiest thing to do. We're going to use the back end of these fields for a card shuffler. So if we chain together a bunch of droppers this way, let's do 8. I think 8 should be enough. We'll put an input on this, of course, that is important. So this will be our input chest where we input all our cards. And then we need to be able to select these. And I think we'll just do a simple boom. We'll put another one there for other reasons, but we'll do that. We'll set this to exactly 1, and then take our or our packager, put it over there, and then we need to be able to get it over here. Basically, getting it over here might actually be the easiest part, because we could just do packager, and then I need a hopper right there, and that should technically allow us to draw a package it will get unpackaged and we'll get 1 card. Now, before we do any of that, before we want to select a card, we want to shuffle the deck a little bit, right? Every time they draw a card, we'll kind of rotate some cards in here. So we'll take a button, and now is where a bunch of logic gets in here. So we'll grab all of our logic stuff. The shuffling will happen over here, and that's honestly probably the easiest part. There we go. We get some clicks in, and we fire off some droppers. Now we don't want that to run all the time, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to set that to like 10 ticks. I might change that in the future, but for now we'll do 10 ticks. And then over here we want to run redstone all the way over there. Now we do have this little area over here, which we can then rotate, power this block, and then from this block we'll delay our system a little bit, just so enough time we have a couple of rotations here, and then we draw a card. So now we should, and then okay, that's fine. Maybe even we're making a clock somewhere. Where are we making a clock? Probably over here, right? There we go. Just a little shuffling, nothing too much, just... There we go, that's it. We also want a graveyard, which I'm gonna mirror this. I know the field is even, so... Just gonna use these guys to select the middle, right? And then we want that guy to end up over here. Then redstone wise, this is even easier because we can just do that, I think. Put you over here and then you over here. Boom. So if I put something in there, it's going to eventually fall in here. Do I have like 1 item? I could put in my wrench right there. And then if I select it, it'll be dispensed 1 random of 9 cards. Technically, this is all we need. Right, we have a way to dispense our cards, we have a way to shuffle our cards, and we have a way to work with a graveyard. The problem is where we get to the end of the game. Let's say we won and we still have a bunch of cards in our deck and in our graveyard. We want to get all of those out. For the deck return, it doesn't make sense for this to be out of line, and I kind of want to set back our dropper a bit. So we'll do that. Like so. Oh, that's not a dropper. This is a dropper. And then from that point on, we can grab you, right? Have this lead into a vault over here. Do that, lead you in there. So now all of these lead into there, all of these lead into there, but we don't want that to happen all the time. So we're gonna lock, I think, half of these. We want this to be open, so we'll lock these. We need to lock that guy. Just like that. So now those are all locked. Now we need to do the same for this guy. We'll come down here. We'll get you in there. Lock you. And now we just need to link all of that together onto a button that says, return my deck to me. Okay, so if we power these repeaters, it's gonna snake around, unlock these guys, drop everything from these 4 droppers into the vault, the big vault underneath. It's gonna snake around, snake down, boom, 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 into here. And this guy probably should be on. So if I do that, it's gonna get turned off. And that will drop stuff into there. The problem is, if we have played, some of the cards will be in these droppers as well. So we want to kind of fire these while we work on it. So we can, I think we could come up here. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot quicker. And then the only thing that we need to do is set up an output chest, which I kind of want to have to decide. I don't think it'll make sense to have our output in the middle. output chest here. We'll make a column of depots and funnels. I don't want to use rotational power, so I prepared some of these guys. We'll just kind of make a line from here. Input over here. Maybe that is not the right spot. Maybe we just do that. And because item drains don't really work well with turns, we'll add an extra barrel in the middle over here. Input, output. That is going to allow the package to turn, get onto the column, and get into this chest over here. Now we do want this to happen every time there's an item in here. So I'm just going to do a very simple boom. Set this to one item. Every time there's one item in there, it's going to turn on and give us a package. We can test that by putting something in here maybe. There we go. Package goes, package goes, package goes, package goes, and gets unpackaged. And that is technically the entire thing done. We have graveyard, we have shuffler, and a card drawing machine, and we have maybe we should put a button on here, and we have a item return system or a deck return system. Now, just to mirror this onto that side, I'm not gonna run you guys through it again. I'm just gonna build it up, and then we'll put some other stuff in here. Okay, we have a mirrored system. We have one over there. We have one over here. They're identical, and I've set up all the timers and all the tick thingies. They're all set to the correct timings that I want them to be. So the shuffling's a little longer, but that's because I want it more shuffled. And then for this, I set it so it just kind of takes a little longer to drain everything, since we are working with a hopper over here, and those take a little more time than shoots. Now, let's think about some other mechanics of the game, which is faith. Faith is the cost that it will take to play a card, and for now, I have decided to start with 2 faith, and then you can go up to 10 each round. So every round that you play, you get 1 extra faith. So first round would be 2, then the next round, your turn comes over, you get 3. And all the way up to 10. The way I want to do that is, I keep going to my backpack, but I have everything in my inventory, is we'll have, right here in the middle, we'll have 2 buttons. One is to deplete your faith, or to pay up your faith to play a card, and then the other one is to end your turn, which will then reset your opponent's faith. We'll show the faith using some good old-fashioned Nixie tubes, because, you know, those are always fun, and they come with numbers, and that's easy to do. And then we'll have 2 buttons, one over here, one over there, and then same over here. Now, let's get underneath here and set up a faith machine. Okay, so we have set up all the redstone links, and I have also set up a display link on this side. And now I can show you how it works. So if we spend some points, right? We go 1, 2, boom. And then we play our round. Round goes over to here. This guy plays his round, and if he ends his turn, our system gets reset and then added +1. Now if you do the same, let's say we haven't spent all our points, we just have the 1. We go to the hold the back hold, this guy resets his turn. We go back to 4, right? So every round it'll go up until we hit the limit of 10, and then it'll just keep being 10. Now if we end the game ends, and we hit this button, this should drain to 0, boop, 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 and then come back to 2. Give it a sec. There we go. That means that now in here we have 8 pieces of dirt, and in the other one we have 2 pieces of stone. Now if we want to change the rules, and if we want to, let's say, set the max to 12, we can always add more dirt to this guy, but for now, it's going to be 10, and I just have to mirror this on this side so that we can hook this guy up as well. There we go. Two systems are in. They're linked together at the middle, just so the reset happens at the same time. And I think that is most of what I want to do. I do want to add a coin flip as well. So I'll do that on this side. I think I have enough space. I should have enough space down here. Coin flips are just a 50-50 randomizer, right? They're not too big. But I do need to go and grab some redstone lamps. So I'll be right back because I didn't bring those. I need a bit more space. Like, I need one more block. So what I'm gonna do is go back into danger mode and just get rid of all of this. And we're just gonna move the wall back one. Okay, as if it always was one block wider. For that though, we are gonna go like so. I need to decide where I want the lamp. Do I want them to be... No, I don't want them to be right next to the button. Because that would power them every time we click the button. I'm mostly thinking of how I want to do this. You know what, let's get a little platform in first, and then we'll figure out where we put the randomizer. So this will be our output, right there, right here. We'll grab... Did I bring them? I don't think I brought them. 2 of these. We'll put those in here, and then we want our guy to go off here. Any old randomizer works like this. Like so, and then we need an output over here, so we'll take a comparator. We'll do this. This is your basic vanilla 50-50 randomizer, meaning that... Where did my pickaxe go, by the way? So 50-50 randomizer. It works on the basis that you have one non-stackable item and then one stackable item. The stackable item gives a redstone strength of, well, 1. It's just going to power this guy, allowing this guy to turn on. And then the redstone signal from a non-stackable item is going to power 3 strong. So it's going to power this guy, and then that guy is going to turn off that signal. Right? It's going to cut it off. So that only this one turns on and not that one. Now that we have relays, relays are pretty useful because we can use those to power things vertical. That we have figured out in last week's episode. Like so. And then the only thing we need to do is run something. Run you. I'm going to take you away for a second. I'm going to go all the way over like so. This signal over here is going to reset this guy, right? So we want to power these first, and then on a bit of a delay, trigger our mechanism over there. So we'll do that. We'll set that to 10 ticks. And that should technically be everything we need to have a randomized output. Now, the only thing we need is a button. We'll put that over here, and then I push you. We have one light. It's resetting. Again, same light. Let me see if I can trigger the other one. There we go. It's a 50-50 output. Then we just need to name them heads and tails. That's all it is. Yeah, no, I'm gonna start covering things up. I kind of want to make it the arena itself. So the building around this, I want to make like an oval. I'm kind of aiming steampunk colosseum. Give me a second, let me get the oval in place, and then we'll build up from there. We have a large oval. It would be huge if this would be the inner wall of the oval of the arena. So I think I'm gonna encase these guys. I think I'm gonna do that by kind of cutting off a wall here, or putting up a wall here, right? And then we'll kind of expose the buttons, but that's gonna be about it. So that is gonna be a wall right there. And we'll probably just continue this until we're like right here. I've done the whole thing, right? I've encased both of them, which does add, like, I do like that there's a little gonna be a little backdrop to there. And then for the outer one, I think maybe something like that. Let me do the other side as well. And then we connect both up. And I think that is like for the inner wall, that's gonna be enough. Good. And then we are gonna have a bit of a passage through here. 2, 3. Let's put some pillars up here as well, like so. Let's match that up on this side. These are going to be entrances. I'm just putting in the pillars so I know where the buildings are going to go, and just so I can kind of make a mental image of it all. So 2 entrances on those sides, and then 2 bigger buildings with also entrances on the other side. And I think the bigger buildings are going to be more of the VIP seats. Like, they're going to be able to stand up here and see the entire thing kind of go. Whereas the other seats are going to be off to the side. Not have that much or that good of a view. I think it's time for me to just kind of bite the dust and build up a lot of walls. Maybe put a little bit of structure and form into it. But yeah, I'll be right back, I guess. I don't think we need too much explanation about white walls. We have the inside, as I said. It's quite cozy, but I like it. This would be the player's entrance right here, and then we would have the entrance for our visitors over here. Now, as I said, we have 2 buildings on either side that, well, one, I like the idea of having some view into the redstone, so that's kind of cool. And then up here we have the, I want to call them Emperor boxes, but they're not Emperor boxes, but, you know, VIP boxes maybe. You know, kind of cool. I like that machine, the city over top. But the only problem is it's kind of sunk into the ground. So I would want to maybe cut back all the way till here and then have another retaining wall set up. Maybe until we kind of come over here. The thing is, it's a lot of nothing underneath here. So I am going to do that. I'm going to start here. We'll do boom. Like so. And we'll do that. And then we'll kind of curve it back over here. That's fine. I can live with that. And then we'll cut it back one more. Just open up the entire thing. I'll be right back when I'm done digging out some dirt. And that is a lot better. It also kind of helps give us some more space for housing on the lower end, because that roll was a little tight over there. But overall, it's starting to grow. Now the next step would be figuring out where we're going to build more houses, or how those are going to be orientated. And a big step in that regard is roads. My plan would be at the edge of this arena, at both ends, we would have a square, a town square almost. A small little thing that we can use as entrances. Not as big as this one, that's the really big one, but maybe like this size. And then we would have a road come down here to that square, and then this road would come down to that square as well. So that would mean I need to figure out the squares. I kind of want a similar design, but maybe some different colors in it. Because over here it's deep slate and then we have some granite. But maybe we do like a deep slate and tough mixture at this point. Because I do want to signal that this is a different part of town. So let me go and grab some more materials. I'll grab the backpack because we don't need it at the moment. And then I'll go and collect some more stuff. Outside of here, we'll bring this all up one level, but for the square, I'm gonna keep the same like line out, I guess we could call it. I don't think it's too big. I kind of like it. Now we need to get a little pattern in here, which we can do by kind of making, I wouldn't say a star, but you know, it's 3, 4. Wait, something's not right. Oh, because I forgot. I need to make this one wider. Okay, so for the fill-in color, instead of granite, I wanted to try mud, because I feel like mud has that same kind of color palette. It's within that same like reddish, brownish kind of orangey kind of vibe, but it's way more dull, so might not look as fancy. Okay, so that's square 1. This time it's actually a square, or at least square-ish. And then we have to mirror that on this side. You know what I'm gonna do? I am gonna go grab some more mud, because I need more mud to do the square, and then I'll get in the square and like at least get the road in to come over here. And same thing over here, get the road in. Roads are in. I did a little bit of terraforming. It's still, the grass is still growing. And then I cut back this long hill that we had sticking out here and just kind of continued that staircase coming down, which I think looks good, you know? It kind of gives you that like I'm walking up to the upper city kind of vibe. Now we'll fill these little balconies with more houses eventually, but I spent an hour with Trolash talking about our mini game, and we decided that it's best to just kind of play it a bit and see what the rules are and how we have it set up right now, and what needs to change. So we'll be doing that on stream, I think this weekend or next weekend. So if you want to see that happening, the test playing, follow me on Twitch or here on YouTube, and then you'll get a notification when I go live. For those who are excited about the city build, you can do the same. Just, you know, hit subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you get updated when we do some more building. That being said, I have run out of time. This video needs to get edited and uploaded, so I hope you've enjoyed it. I definitely have. I'm excited to get this game working, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!